Kelly with Holistically Rooted, and we are back in my kitchen as always cooking for my 4 boys. I just put a gluten-free apple crisp in the oven and we are having hamburgers tonight. So I make most everything from scratch. We are mostly paleo, but we've added in oats and some different things. So tonight I'm making our paleo hamburger buns. I actually use this recipe to make biscuits, rolls, just with little modifications, and it's just amazing. My boys love it. I've made this for so long. It's super simple. Unlike some of the other gluten-free recipes, I really like that the ingredients just kind of stick to real food. I'm going to be using almond flour, tapioca starch, and some flaxseed. I get the flaxseed and grind it up myself because it just keeps better, and I'm almost running out, so I need to grind up a little bit more. But I'm starting out with 2 1/4 cups of almond flour. Then 1 1/2 cups of tapioca starch. This actually is a pretty big recipe, but I find it makes an entire pan of the biscuits or the hamburger buns. So this is 1 1/2 cups. And y'all, I am not super crazy careful with measuring. It just works for me with these biscuit recipes. A lot of times with baking, you do have to be careful, but I'm not too much of a measurer. I'm from New Orleans, and we just throw it in the pot. Here is about 1/2 cup of flaxseed. And then I'm gonna add, I do somewhat measure this, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder. I like to get the kind that doesn't have aluminum in it. Aluminum has no place in our body or on our body. We like to use really clean ingredients in our bodies and on our bodies. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Once this gets stirred up, I'm gonna grab a whisk. Once this gets stirred up, I'm gonna just add in my liquid ingredients. And I make these smaller if I'm making biscuits, and I make them larger for hamburger buns. Another thing that you can also do a little bit different for the hamburger buns is you can put some egg wash on them after they cook for a little bit, and just to kind of give them that great hamburger bun texture. And throw in some sesame seeds. So one of the things I love with our hamburgers is we use grass-fed local beef, and then I add in shredded zucchini to kind of stretch the recipe a little bit further. All right, next up, we are doing our liquid ingredients. Next up is our liquid ingredients, and I'm gonna use 2/3 cup water. I'm gonna add 1/4 cup oil. I use olive oil or avocado oil. Either one are great. If you can't tell from all behind me, we shop a ton at Costco. Everything's Kirkland's. Then I'm going to do a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and a tablespoon of maple syrup. And this just gives it the right sweetness. And I have 2 of our backyard farm fresh eggs. I'll have to introduce you to our chickens at some point. And that is all the liquid ingredients. Y'all, I make this recipe so many times a week, whether it's for breakfast or I will turn these into like barbecue chicken sandwiches. We use these as biscuits with jelly, or tonight we are using them for hamburgers. So when my apple crisp that I just popped in the oven comes out, these biscuits will go in, or hamburger buns. We call them biscuits or hamburger buns. And these will be cooked at 325 for about 18 minutes. And I like to just scoop them with my little 1/4 cup that I used to measure. And it mixes up really easily. And we're ready to go. This typically fills the pan that I'm doing. And for my boys, I have 4 boys. They range from 8 to 15. I have 2 teenagers, and they can eat. So I'm constantly trying to fill their bellies with healthy options. And since we don't buy store-bought bread, I'm making this or another gluten-free bread often for them. I make them a little bit bigger for hamburgers and a little bit smaller for biscuits. I'm gonna try and, sometimes these are a little bit thicker. Can you tell I'm not super neat cook? I'm quite a messy cook. I'm not a measurer, and I just kind of throw it together, but it always tastes good. I'm not great with presentation, but my boys enjoy the cooking and the taste. So, and actually I've run out of room. So we're gonna pop these in the oven as soon as the apple crisp comes out. And I may do an egg wash on these as well if I have time, if the boys give me a moment. And then I will cut these open and put some hamburgers on it that I just am about to make as well. So I hope you guys enjoy, and tell me all the ways that you're going to use these biscuits. We've added jelly, barbecue beef, barbecue chicken, jelly, or even a ham sandwich. So I hope y'all enjoy the simplicity of these paleo buns, biscuits, and hamburger buns.